That's a funny walk, isn't it? Yes, that's the walk of a person with plantar fasciitis, and yes, it's a recurring injury that I've had, and many other people get it, particularly people who run a lot. So runners get it, and that's probably the first time I got it, probably just over 20 years ago. I got plantar fasciitis, actually longer than 20 years ago. I've had it 3 times. This is the 4th time I've had it in my sporting or active career. So let's go through what is plantar fasciitis. Well, itis means inflammation. Inflammation of the fascia in the plantar fascia. So the fascia is the fascia that connects your heel bone, your calcaneal bone, to your toes. So when you get plantar fasciitis, you're going to get a lot of pain just here, not on the heel, but just a bit anterior to the heel, and it's going to be quite painful. So that's some of the symptoms. Yeah, significant pain here, where maybe once you're warmed up, you don't feel it, but you may feel it when you get out of bed. So I'm probably at that stage now. When I get out of bed, I'm hopping around like an old man. Once I warm up, I can move okay. The challenge with that is that's one of the stages of tendinitis, and if I ignore those symptoms, it will go to the next stage where it will actually just be sore as I'm moving as well, and then it'll be sore when I'm actually not moving at all, and they'll be constantly sore, and that's where you get to that 3rd and 4th stage of tendinitis. And we don't want to get to that stage because that can be almost irreparable damage. So you want to get tendinitis challenges, you want to deal with them early, while they're at a stage where maybe they're only sore the next morning when you get up, but once you warm up, it's okay, but when you cool down, it goes sore again. So that's probably a good stage to catch it, but don't keep doing what you're doing that created it in the first place. And that's with any form of tendinitis. Now, particularly the plantar fasciitis, it can be quite limiting because obviously it's your foot and you walk around in your foot and it looks pretty weird when you're limping around. So here's some of the things to do. First of all, if you don't have any allergic reaction, obviously treating it with rest. And rest doesn't mean not doing anything, it just means doing activities that don't aggravate it. So if you're running, you might do bike riding or swimming or something that takes the load off. The other aspect is obviously rest. Ice is very important. So ice on a regular basis to treat the inflammation, because the tendons and the muscles don't heal while the tissue is inflamed. Once you bring the inflammation down, then the body will go into an anabolic state where we actually start to heal the tissue. But while there's inflammation, it's in a catabolic state. It means it's not healing. So even if you don't feel it when you warm up, you're actually not going to rehabilitate it. So you've got to get the inflammation down through ice, and if you're not allergic to it, NSAID or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So things such as Nurofen with ibuprofen or whatever it might be. So if you're not allergic to that, or you don't have any reason not to take it, then certainly manage it with those, but obviously don't abuse them and depend on them, so you can train. You use them into the stage of rehabilitation. So rest means unloading the area but still be active. 2, ice. 3, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. 4 is stretching. So how do you stretch this particular part? It's good to stretch the fascia, so actually when it heals, it doesn't heal in a tight position. That means it will increase its chances of reoccurring, because when it rehabs in a shortened position, there's going to be more tension there. More tension means more aggravation. So obviously you want to do all your calf stretches. So obviously you do your gastrocnemius stretch, but I don't actually feel that in the arch of the foot, there where the plantar fascia is. But it's a good stretch to do anyway. Then obviously you do your soleus stretch, where you do the same stretch but you bend the knee, so you're stretching more the soleus by making the gastrocnemius passively insufficient by bending the knee joint, because that goes across the knee joint. So they're just some given stretches. But the more specific stretch, which I found to be quite useful, is one which was given to me by a physio back in the old days, a guy called Bruce Rawson, a sports physiotherapist. Is what I do is I get my toes and I jam them right into the corner, like so, bend the knee, and then just slightly lean forward, and you start to feel stretch in the arch. So that will stretch the plantar fascia in that stretch position, like so. So ice, rest, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, stretching. This is one of my favourites. If you want to do a bit of muscle control, then you may actually get a towel and start curling the towel with your toe. That strengthens the muscles underneath the arch to give you more support in the arch. So there's some tools how to do a plantar fasciitis. I've dealt with it 3 times. This is my 4th, and hopefully I'll get on top of it within the next couple of months. It takes a couple of months to get on top, so you have to be patient as well. So you need a lot of patience, and that would be no cow poo.